And we're back, guys. I am good energy in the studio tonight, so this will not be tennis in a minute. I will not be rushing commentary tonight. I have time to speak. And the first thing I want to say is thank you to everyone. 2 million plus. Look, this started as just a hobby, speaking about tennis, my favorite players. And I want to sincerely thank everyone that comes to the channel, leaves a like, positive comment, or even sends a super thanks. I really sincerely appreciate you guys. You make it worthwhile. And the reality here is we have a lot of tennis to discuss tonight. Thank you all again. Let's get right into it. That's Mira Andreeva. She is only 16 years old and she is setting records left and right. Now, for those of you that do not know, she has won back-to-back 60K tournaments in Switzerland, becoming the youngest player to ever win back-to-back 60K tournaments. She is the youngest ranked player inside of the top 300. That's right. Right now, she's ranked 143. Love. She has love surrounding her. She is a positive inspiration. She speaks well. She's intelligent. She's a young, classy woman, and just having her, it's a breath of fresh air. I mean, she's only 16. She has no idea what's going on. Most people don't have a clue what's really going on. But if her ranking does not remind you what it's all about, her ranking number tells you it's all about love. She's a breath of fresh air. She's full of joy. She says the most sincere, sweetest things. In her last interview with the Tennis Network, she was asked, "Now Andy Murray's not here. Have you seen any other beautiful faces?" She says, Tiafo. He's a beautiful face, yes. Unbelievable. Then she would go on to say that she had the opportunity to meet Coco, who was the most beautiful face here. She said Coco was very nice. She embraced her, and she said she also had the chance to practice with Coco. She said Coco is so fast. She's too fast for me. Unbelievable. Now they play in a couple days. That's going to be amazing. But she also said earlier that Ons Jabeur is her favorite player. Listen, Erica, you are the new star of this channel. You say nothing but positive, beautiful things out of your mouth, and I think she's great for the channel, and she should be a reminder to everyone what it's all about. That's one of the top stories. Let's get into some of the others before we discuss tomorrow's matches. And by the way, she's a pretty darn good player. She's beat some amazing talent. Watch out for her. She's a star. A new star is born. I see her winning a Grand Slam one day for sure. Iga Swiatek celebrates her 22nd birthday. She says it's all about Taylor Swift. Okay, that's pretty cool. But the real question is, can she win it all? I told you before the tournament started I would take Iga Swiatek to win it. Now I also took Ons Jabeur at plus 3,000 2 days ago. Plus 3,000 to win it. It looks like they're on a collision course. I don't see anyone in Ons Jabeur's bracket that will beat her. Of course, anything can happen, but I do think Sabalenka will be tripped up. Now, futures are a little bit harder to predict than individual game matches, but I do think Sabalenka will be tripped up. Yes, I do. And we'll see. We'll see if they meet. If they meet, that's going to be fireworks. Kayla Day, she takes out Maddie Patty. Listen, I actually saw that coming. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but yes, I did see the upset. Maddie Patty's out of there. Aryna Svitolina from the hard-hitting Ukraine. Look, she's on a roll. She won Strasbourg. She's 2-0 here. She's playing really good. Watch out for her. What about Peyton Stearns? I told you guys Peyton Stearns would beat Yelena Ostapenko outright. She moved her front, back, side to side, like a new dance move or something. She's fast. Watch out for her. And Elena Rybakina, listen. She's a perfectionist. She's like Coco. She's a perfectionist. She's never happy when she loses, and that's a good sign. Her future is bright. But she's on clay, and she's tall. I don't know if she can win it all, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get right into the draw. Now let's take a look at all of these top ladies that have been eliminated. What do most of them have in common? Well, let's see. Most of them have in common the fact that I told you they would be eliminated. Sakari, I told you she would get bounced out. Kvitova, if you listen to the updates, I told you she was going to get bounced out. Garcia, I told you, look, she's probably going to lose the match. Bencic, I did say will win, but I did say watch out. She's facing a qualifier that has already played 3 matches. Those are when the upsets happen. You have a top tier player that's been inactive and has not played in a long time, right? Ludmilla, I told you, these are the type of matches she loses. Ostapenko, I said Peyton Stearns is probably going to beat her. And Helena, I told you, look, she's going to get upset. Donna Vekic, I told you today, Pera's going to beat her. Now, Madison Keys, I did see it coming, but I did pick her to win. But again, that was a rush video this morning. I said, yeah, Madison's going to lose. Kenwen Zhang, I told you, look, she's probably going to lose. So a lot of these picks here they were all favorites, like big favorites too. And they all lost. But let's get into the current draw and who is remaining here. Now, these are the top seeds that are remaining. Of course, Iga, top seed. Sabalenka, number 2. Pegula, 3. Aryna, 4. Coco, number 6. And we have Ons Jabeur, the 7th seed. That is a good number, the 7th seed. We have Daria, Dasha, Beatrice Haddad, Katerina, and Potapova. All right, guys, let's do some quick predictions here. And the video is running a bit long already. I'm going to try and breeze through this, so stay tuned. All right, first match, the hard-hitting Clara Tauson. That's right, from Denmark, taking on Aryna Avancian. Listen, guys, before I get into this prediction here, I want to make something very clear. This is my opinion, okay? From someone that watches a lot of tennis. I've watched the majority of these players numerous times, their full matches. This is my opinion. This is what I think. It's what I feel. If I see something and say something that is true, that's a fact, don't get mad at me. Get mad at the player you're defending, okay? And yes, we're talking about Emma Raducanu's bestie, Clara Tauson, the hard-hitting Clara Tauson. We're talking about her. Now listen, she's got power. She has a lot of power. That is a fact. Go watch my video a couple years ago, a year and a half ago, 2022 Australian Open, when she sat Annette Kontaveit down. Go search it, it's in there. You can find it on my channel. Sat her down with a rocket, multiple rockets. Annette Kontaveit cannot return that power. Tauson's 25-9 on the season. Look, she has a chance to pass her entire win total for last year with half the losses. She's won 5 in a row. She's beat Katie Swan, very fast, strong, athletic player. She beat Bjorklund, a very good in-between-the-lines player. Sasnovich, who's very athletic, tricky, mixes it up, and long hair, don't care. Leylah Fernandez, who's very athletic, hates to give up the baseline. She's playing well, okay? Now she's taking on Aryna, who came from qualifiers. Now, she won her first 2 rounds of qualifications. She's lost to Kayla Day, who just beat Madison Keys. She beat Belinda Bencic, who, look, was rusty. Look, Belinda's still a top tier player, but if you don't have your form, you'll be upset in tennis. Tennis is not, like some of these other sports where, and I'd say maybe like quarterbacking, where you don't really have to be in your best athletic shape. You just have to be able to take the snap, drop step, get the ball out quick, right? You don't necessarily have to run. You can throw the ball away. tennis, you have to be in shape. You have to have form, or you're going to get blasted off of the court. Tennis is a very unique sport. The win over John, to be honest with you, I think John really played how she should have in the second set. And then, of course, she made a couple of mistakes. You make a couple of mistakes in any set, you can lose a set. But I think the first set, and this is my opinion, I think John was just so disgusted at the empty arena. Like, I've played in matches and games where it's like your home crowd should be there and they're not there, and it really makes you upset. Like seriously, like no one came out to watch this match. And that was Coco and Pegula. I told you guys last year at the WTA finals, I said Coco and Pegula were disgusted at the turnout for the Americans. You have 2 Americans in the WTA finals, and the attendance is very low. Even Iga was pissed off. They had bad tournaments. They were the first 2 to leave. So I'm telling you what happened with Leola John. She came out, there's no one there, the crowd's empty, everyone left after the men's final for the day, and that's how the first set went. But she did come on strong in the second set, so her 2 wins were big, but I'm not going to look into them. I'm not going to overhype them for more than what they really are, right? So this matchup here with Clara Tauson, Aryna's having a good season. She's 20-12. Now, last year she won 25 matches on clay. This year she's already at 15, and she's balling hard. Look, she's from Russia. She's very technical, right? She's got the skills to pay the bills. We saw her win a Germany clay championship, and she even made a semifinal in San Luis where Elizabeth won that. Elizabeth took her out, but needed 3 sets, and Elizabeth is a really good clay player. She's got 4 or 5 championships on the ITF, and Aryna has about 5 or 6 herself. Now, this is a matchup here where Clara Tauson just beat Leylah Fernandez, who's probably a few levels above Aryna. Leylah's pretty good, and look, I don't know why Leylah gets so much hate on tour. I mean, just much like Coco. I mean, you have someone like Coco who has accomplished way more things than anyone in the top 10 before 18, at 18, and it's like people put so much pressure on Coco, it's ridiculous. They don't even realize all the great things she's accomplished. It's like, if you're unbiased, then you'll understand, and it's clear and it's evident. But this is a matchup here where, listen, Clara Tauson, she's very accomplished, she has power, but I tell you, I watch her matches. I've been watching her since she was a junior, and I'm telling you guys, one thing you cannot teach is heart. I've seen Clara Tauson quit in matches several times. Yes, the only other young player that I've seen with that type of attitude is Amanda Anisimova. These are the only 2 young top upcoming players that I have seen that will quit, that are like, no, I don't even want to play, I'm not going back out there. That is unacceptable, which is why, look, I've been telling you guys, if you follow the channel, I've been telling you Clara Tauson is not someone that I back. I would not recommend backing her, because you cannot teach heart. When things get tough, are you going to fight and stick in there, or are you going to quit? I've seen her quit in championships. That is unacceptable in a championship match for the trophy. It's unacceptable. And when I say quit, I'm talking about your body language, I'm talking about your attitude, I'm talking about your will to win, your determination, your passion. I'm an athlete, and I tell you, when I'm competing, I'm there to win. And if I'm not going to win, then you know what? That means you were just better than myself. But I'm not going to quit on myself, okay? If I'm injured, even if I'm injured, you're gonna have to carry me off the court. That's my type of attitude and my demeanor, okay? If I can't play, then I'm not gonna be out there. It's as simple as that. If I'm injured to the point I can't play, I won't be out there at all. But if I'm out there, there's no way I'm gonna quit on myself, because that heart, you can't teach that. That comes from within. But we're gonna back her here. I'm gonna take Clara Tauson to win the first set. But listen, guys, if this match goes 2 deep sets, 3 deep sets, you better take Aryna. on the end game. You better take Aryna. If this goes deep into 3 sets, you better take Aryna to win it, because I don't see Clara Tauson winning another deep 3-setter. If you watch that match with Leylah Fernandez, just look at her body language. Look at her body language. When things get tough, she does not want to be in there. And if she's facing someone that can sense that and pick it up, they will put her away. But we're going to take her to win the first set on the money line. That's the pick. But I'm telling you, this thing goes 3 sets. You better take Aryna. Who's next? Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova, Anastasia Potapova. Now listen, I'll be honest with you. I don't like calling matches with 2 ladies from the same country. It's just something that I've never liked doing. And if I had to do a personal pick for myself, and it was 2 ladies from the same country, that I just wouldn't pick it. This is a match that I think that this is a match, to be honest with you. Normally, 2 ladies from the same country is a match you want to take the over. That's just how it is. You know, there's a lot of buddy stuff, and the reality here is both of these ladies won 2 tough matches. Anastasia P, for short, she beat Ludmila, and look, Ludmila's a front runner. I tell you that all the time. If she beat Ludmila, she can beat Anastasia. Simple as that. On the other hand, Anastasia Potapova, you beat Mayar Shreve. You should be able to beat Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova, because Shreve is a much better clay player. On the other hand, you beat a fast, athletic Taylor Townsend. You can beat Anastasia at this age of her career. Anastasia, on the other hand, you beat a good shot maker and Linda Favortova, who's just not. Anastasia is not a good clay player like Linda Favortova. Even though Linda's young, Anastasia uses a stronger, faster ball. But Anastasia does not have the spin. She said it herself. Just watch her play. She's looking to take balls off the sky 100 miles per hour, which means she'll hit winners, but she'll make a lot of mistakes. So the over for her is the recipe. I think the first set, to be honest with you, goes. I think the first set goes under. I think the second set goes over. That's what I think. Who wins? I really don't care who wins. I think that the best pick here is wait till they both get warmed up. I would take the second set over 8.5. And the reason why is this is a type of matchup that can go either way. I personally think it should be a pick'em. It should be a 50-50 match. I don't think Pavlyuchenkova should be this big of an underdog. There's nothing that Anastasia does special. I mean, she's playing a veteran that's made the championship here in the past. Anastasia did beat her en route to her first championship at Istanbul. Oh no, well, that was before. So she did beat her before at Istanbul, but I mean, the reality here is that was a couple years ago, and that even went 3. And Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova was in better shape. I wouldn't say necessarily now, because I think Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova is finding her form again, but not a match I would play personally. I would take the over 8.5 in the second set. I do think the first set goes under 9.5, and I think the second set goes over 8.5. But I would be comfortable taking the second set over 8.5, because once the first set goes under, then you can jump right in and get that over at a very low price. Who's next? All right, so this next match, Elise Mertens taking on Jessica Pegula. Now, this is a match, I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to spend much time on this match, because everything that I always say in the past is probably going to come true. And if you do follow the channel, then you already know how it goes. I say all the time, Elise Mertens is a lock to make it out of the first and second round of any of these master events. She gets very favorable prices. All you have to do is ride her. For example, if you took her these first two rounds, then literally, I mean, you got free money. The same with Pegula. I always say Pegula is a walking quarterfinal master or slam events. So the picker is going to be Pegula to win this on the money line. I do think Elise will make it competitive, but Elise is double faulting a lot. Anyone that's giving away 2 free service games, like how can you back them playing against someone that's so technical like Jessica Pegula? Pegula is so freaking technical, and I think she's underrated. And I think people that don't really know tennis kind of overlook her because she's not, she's not a lot of what the other popular players are on tour, like Sabalenka, who's emotional, who's, just so loud, and, or Sakri, who's loud and emotional, screams, I just think she's a quiet assassin, right? She's a quiet assassin. Big game, Jessie P gets the victory. Who's next? All right, we have Karolina Muchova from the Czech Republic taking on Aryna Begu from Romania. This is a matchup of two defensive powerhouses, to be honest with you. The head-to-head, Begu owns it. Muchova opened up as a sizable favorite that's coming down. So that's a sign that, it's a sign that the public's backing her, or just a sign that, the algorithm is trying to balance out the money. But the reality here is Begu, in my opinion, she's pretty solid, to be honest with you. And I think her athletics, she is the taller opponent and she's the older opponent, but I think her athletic ability and the way she's been exploding towards the net, pretty darn good. Karolina Muchova, though, I tell you, man, out of all the players that are sponsored by Adidas, her outfits look pretty darn good. I love the headband. I've always loved her headband game. I wear headbands when I play, and that's why I'm always attracted to the ladies that wear headbands, because I always wear headbands myself. I like Muchova, I like Marie Buskova, I love all the ladies that wear headbands. It looks so freaking dope. But Karolina Muchova, guys, what's going on with her? She's 21-17. I mean, she's back, right? Officially 6-2 on clay. She's beat Sakri and Podoroska. Podoroska is a pretty good clay player. Now, Begu beat Aryna, who's older, and she beat Anna Bonner, and it's a pretty good win. This is a match I would take to total, to be honest with you. I would take a total. I'd take the match to go over 18.5 games. That's like what is that, like 260, 270? I'd take the 18.5. That's what I would take. 18.5, that would be the pick. Both of these ladies are defensive powerhouses. I don't see anyone losing more than 3 games in a set. I would take the match to go over 18.5 games. That's like what, minus 270, something like that, minus 280. That's what I would take. I see the first set going over 8.5. So for it to go over 18.5 games, that means the first set's probably going to go over 8.5. If it doesn't, that means it's going to go 3. So there you go. A couple options there for you. In terms of one of these players to win it, I think all the values on Begu. Simple as that. All the values on Begu. She's pretty tough. Muchova's tough as well. She's good, but Begu going into a match facing someone she know that she can beat, someone she's never lost to, she shouldn't be the underdog. Next matchup, Aryna Svitolina versus Anna Pliskova. I mean, look, guys, if this was a few years ago, Svitolina would probably be like a 5-1. No, not gonna say 5. Probably a 4-1 favorite, right? Probably should be like a 4-1 favorite at least. This line's dropping. A lot of money is coming in on Pliskova, but the reality here is I think she's overvalued with the Caroline Garcia win. A lot of people that don't really follow tennis will probably back her in this spot. I do think the line should be a little more closer. But I mean, with that said, that's interesting because I think Pliskova's overvalued, but I think Svitolina's overvalued. How does that happen, right? I think the line should be closer, to be honest with you. I think it should be closer. So technically, yeah, Svitolina is the one that's probably more overvalued in my opinion. But even with that, I think the line will continue dropping, to be honest with you. Pliskova beat Caroline Garcia, but Svitolina's a much different player. She's a defensive player. She can baseline. Caroline Garcia loves to run forward. Pliskova, in my opinion, is a much better shot maker. And I said this, last time. I said, I think Pliskova is a better shot maker than Caroline Garcia. I think Garcia has power, but I don't really think she has good range, to be honest with you. Where Svitolina has good range all over the court. I don't think Svitolina's been serving particularly well, but this is a match where she's just playing someone that's just the younger opponent, and she should take her to school, to be honest with you, again. So my pick is I'm gonna go with Svitolina on the money line. I do think Storm Sanders is probably a better player than Svitolina, and she's put up 7 aces last time. So I think Blinkova's probably going to be a little tired. She was shocked. She beat Caroline Garcia. She couldn't even speak. Look, you got to snap out of that. Like, come on, it's big time. You're big time. You beat Caroline fair and square. You know, like, snap out of it. You know, she's shocked. You can't go into this match feeling like that. You have to feel like you belong here. You deserve to be here. And Svitolina knows she belongs here and deserves to be here. So I'll take Svitolina on the money line. That's the pick there. Svitolina should beat her. Simple as that. All right, who's next? Peyton Stearns from the USA taking on Dasha. Now listen, this is a very interesting matchup, to be honest with you, because Peyton Stearns is very fast. She is very athletic. She is basically a college kid, and she is in the best shape of her life. Not gonna say kid, she's a grown woman, but she is basically in the best shape of her life. And the thing about this matchup is Dasha is very much so in shape. She is a workhorse. Now I say it all the time, I don't think she'll ever win a Grand Slam the way she plays, because she can't serve out matches, and she's always going deep 2 to 3 setters. Once she gets down to, you know, deep in the draw, the quarter, semifinals, she's exhausted, and she's normally playing a good server. That's not gonna work. Now Peyton Stearns, look, she's having a good run, guys. Come on, you have to love the Cinderella storybook ending. And I mean, look, she took out Big Mama Asta, Yelena Ostapenko, Senyakova, who just coming back. She beat Leylah Fernandez, Panna Yudvardi, Dolhide. She's beating some good people. Now Dasha, she beat Marketa, very good player, but Marketa's not a baseliner, guys. She has good top spin. She's got good drop shots and slices to redirect and get that heat off of her when she is on the baseline, but she's not a baseliner. I mean, you watch that match, you know, Vondrousova she's literally just running horizontally, trying to step in every time she could, and Dasha just keeping the ball deep, just setting her up. Vondrousova's not, and I mean, she's not a baseliner. That was the most uncomfortable I've seen. Who I think Marketa is any day of the week. I mean, she's dropped in the rankings. You know, she's ranked 60th now, but you know, once upon a time she was ranked 14th. You know, last time she made it to the Roland Garros finals against Ashley Barty. But that's the most uncomfortable I've seen what I consider to be a top 30 player on tour. But behind the baseline, she was so uncomfortable, and Dasha's not doing anything special. Let's just be honest. Dasha has heavy top spin, and that's it. She's always trying to reset the rally until she finds a shot, and normally that's like 20 shots in the rally. Peyton Stearns, the only thing that concerns me about Peyton Stearns is I don't think she's that good of a shot maker either to consistently go 30 shot rallies. She still is pretty green. But I mean, this is the type of matchup where you have to take a total. You just have to. So we're gonna take the first set, and normally I tell you all the time, I don't like to take first set unders, right? But I'm gonna take the first set under 9.5 games. That's the pick. But if Peyton Stearns plays well, she's going to have to serve well. Then she could beat her, because we know Dash is not a good server. We know that. So if Peyton serves well, she could upset her, but I'll take the first set under 9.5 games. That's the official pick. Dasha does have the tools to beat Peyton, though. She's a better shot maker, in my opinion. All right, next up we have Yulia Putintseva taking on Sloane Stephens from the USA. I'll be honest with you, I don't like calling Yulia's matches. She does own the head-to-head here. Sloane's a 2-1 favorite. I don't like the number. I think Sloane is overvalued since she beat Karolina Pliskova. And with that said, I just don't like Putintseva. She's just so unpredictable. She's so unreliable. Her game is unconventional. and she's not someone I would back, because it's not like she serves well. You know, she doesn't do anything one well. She is athletic. She has great athletic ability. Last time she beat Kenwin, who's very powerful. She didn't double fault. She didn't beat herself. But listen, she only won 44% of her second serves. She gave up 11 break points. She only won 64% of her first serves. She does make a lot of errors. But Sloane, on the other hand, Sloane at this stage of her career, she's patient. She's always resetting the rallies, heavy spin, steps up, hits her winners. I think Sloane's more powerful. But this is going to come down to this. If you're not familiar with Yulia, what Yulia does is she loves to hit drop shots. She loves to make opponents get frustrated. She loves to get them off the baseline. She just loves to get opponents moving forward, and it really frustrates opponents because you don't know what she's going to do. So it's like you get caught off guard, and you get lured into a sense of, you know, thinking you're gaining momentum in the rally, and then boom, she hits you with a drop shot, wins the point. And this is just a number where I think Sloane's overvalued. I take Putintseva getting +2 games in the first set. That's -165. Not, like I said, I don't like backing Putintseva, but I think with her arsenal, I think, look, she's just got to hold and win 4 games to at least push, or she can win the first set outright or bring it to a tiebreak. So that's what I would take. Putintseva +2 games first set. That's the pick. Now, again, I hope Sloane wins it, but I just think that she's overvalued, and I think Putintseva is going to play tricky. She's going to use drop shots. It's going to get her out of jams, and it's going to win her points. And we've seen Sloane struggle lately against those young, quicker, faster opponents that don't play conventional. If you're going to play tennis with her like Pliskova and you want a baseline, then Sloane's going to beat you. But if you're going to mix in drop shots, run to the net, and run all over the court, then you can score points here and there. Yulia Putintseva +2 games first set. I hate to do it, but it's a good value. And who's next? Aryna Sabalenka versus Rakimova. Look, I don't think we're going to see a blink of a Caroline Garcia type of match where, you know, it's just miraculous victory. I do think Sabalenka's beatable. Look, she lost 24 matches last year, 18 the year before that. And the reality here is she's the type of player that if she doesn't serve well, she puts herself at a disadvantage with double faults, and then she gets attitude, she gets frustrated. I do think if she doesn't get eliminated the next round, the following round, she could see herself leaving the French Open. And it's going to be interesting. It's always interesting how these losses happen, but a lot of it starts around just a bad service game, or you're playing well until you make a mistake and lose a service game on a deuce. Start the next set off sloppy, the person holds and just wins. That's how it happens. We see it 1,000 times. But yeah, there's no value in this match, to be honest with you. Sabalenka to win, probably going to go under, but I don't really have any interest in looking at this match in depth, to be honest with you. What we've been seeing a lot is a lot of the huge favorites have been going first set overs. You know, we've seen that with a lot of these huge favorites, and this number here with Sabalenka, it's actually dropping big time. But look, if you guys want to pick, I say the value will go with the trend. The second sets have been going under. You know, once these favorites get warmed up and, you know, it's time to put them away, the second sets are going under. So take the second set under 9.5 games, and that's gonna be a good price. Look, probably what, 2-to-1 odds. That's a good price. Take it or leave it. Those are the picks, guys. Good energy. Like the video, show some love, hit the super thanks, guys. I think everyone that does hit the super thanks. Look, the channel's doing well. I do a lot of videos. Look, we're not a large channel, rather, you know, compared to some of the other channels, but I do appreciate everyone that shows love and support. And look, we'll be back tomorrow. See you soon. That's it.